To be honest, I'm not really on social media. Like, I don't read that. Like, this is my job. My job is to compete and play basketball every single day. My job is just to continue to show up and, help this team to get better. Obviously we're fighting for our first win, and that's my main focus.
It was funny, just yesterday, Diana Taurasi came up to me at the free throw line, and she was like, you're going to be dealing with this crap for 20 more years. And I was like, oh my God, like, not with the way I'm playing now. And she was like, no, just give yourself grace. And there's been a lot of, vets that have, the same kind of advice. Is just, it's all about, growing and learning through the adversity. And, we're all.
I'll say it's frustrating. I never got hurt before. I never had to sit out a game before in my life, so it's really frustrating, but I know I got some really good people here that got my back, and I just got to trust God. I believe that everything happened for a reason, even though I don't understand what is the reason maybe right now, but I just got to keep trusting God.
Hey everybody, this is Van Silk, WNBA Ballers, WNBA Ballers, Rock Bottom Sports. Listen, I think we all, every one of us, need to pull back. Think about the things that we post and say about these young rookies and ladies in the WNBA. Now, I'm very familiar with the WNBA because I was associated with some players that I was representing back when the league started in 1997, 98. So I was one of the players. But let's talk about the rookies. Caitlin Clatk, Cameron Brinks, Camilla Cardozo, Arika Jackson, J.C. Sheldon, Aaliyah Edwards, Angel Reese, Lisa Philly. The 8 girls. There's other girls that's been drafted that's in the league. Kate Martin with the Aces. What I do want to say, what I really want to say is that these girls just came out of college. And a month later, for those who got drafted and still in the WNBA, we got to give them a break. Seriously. Y'all got to get the target off Caitlin's back. As I was watching a documentary story on her, she's popular. She was popular in Iowa, playing in a stadium of 56,000 and 35,000. You come from Iowa and you're the biggest name in Iowa. Okay, so that's the popular side. But when you're looking at the Angel Reese and the Cardozas and the Arika Jackson, and you're looking at these young girls who's getting in the league, it's a lot of transition you have to make. You got to learn now how to play in a league where you're playing for your living. In college, you have a scholarship. You're not going nowhere. Oh, they ain't gonna cut me. Oh, if I want to change school, I go into the portal. But in the WNBA, if you don't provide, you can just lose your job just like that. Because there's somebody else there to get that job. You can't expect them to come in the league and just take over. It's not going to happen. The inexperience, different type of game, different ball, different rules. The traveling, back-to-back games, being at the stadium 3-4 hours before, coming in the morning for practice. It's a little different than when you're just on campus and you got one game a week. Okay? Big difference. If it's one game or 2 games, whatever it is. Take the target off Angel Reese back. Her and Caitlin Clatk is going to be tied for the rest of their life, and as long as they play basketball. Cameron Brinks, Cardozo just came in. She won a championship with South Carolina last year. And I mean, for both her and Angel to end up on the Chicago Sky is great. But I want y'all all, bloggers, YouTubers, talk about some of the other girls. Talk about what team do you like? Who's your favorite player? Not your popular player. Who's your favorite player? That's what basketball is about. These rookies got enough pressure on them already to perform Now you want to add pressure with the negativity, the racism, and I might be part of asking the question, like I asked, if Caitlin Clatk was black, will everybody have the same energy? And we need to get rid of whatever happened in college with all this. They in the NBA right now. I don't even want to hit the discussion about the Olympics because that's just totally bonzo. I might talk about it later on. But what I want you to do, listen to these 8 young ladies, 1 through 8, from Caitlin to Reese to Brinks. I mean, just listen to the young ladies, just when they first got drafted or their first interviews. And, I'll be right back. Because meanwhile, while I'm doing this, I'm watching the Chicago Sky and the Connecticut Suns play. But this is Van Silk, Rock Bottom Sports. Y'all check the young ladies out. And also, if you happen to see, subscribe to YouTube or subscribe to Instagram. I started making little thumbnails so y'all can follow the girls on Instagram or the YouTube channel, follow the team. We need to uplift the WNBA. It's 27 years. This is Van Silk, Rock Bottom Sports on Rumble.com. WNBA Ballers on Rumble.com. Follow, subscribe, leave a comment. I'll be right back. Check out the rookies.
First of all, congratulations getting selected by the LA Sparks. How did that feel hearing your name get called?
It felt amazing. Like, it just was a surreal moment. Just seeing my family, my boyfriend, they're just all congratulating me, happy tears. I didn't cry though. Good for me, but I'm just grateful for it all.
What are you excited about for the city of LA?
I'm excited, like basketball-wise or just the city?
Oh.
Just the city-wise, like it's just a lot to do. I feel like that's good for a homebody like myself, to get out a little bit more. Basketball-wise, just, the chance to just do something really special. LA wasn't where they wanted to be last year and things of that nature, and I feel like we are putting together a really good roster.
Especially with you now on the team.
Yes.
What are the Sparks getting in Rookie?
They are getting an energy player. They're getting a player who wants to get better. I'm a sponge. I want to learn. I feel like I'm nowhere near my potential, but I'm willing to work for it. They're going to get a versatile player.
Congratulations, and you look amazing.
I know that Emma is dying to get over here. She is waiting. You are the best cheerleader ever. She really has been your best cheerleader this whole career, 5 years at Ohio State. How has she lifted you?
In so many ways. She's made a huge impact on me and my family, and she has no idea, and it's been cool to see really the whole world, just to see how special she is and how much of an impact she makes.
We've all fallen in love with you, and you yell during opponents' free throws, and you cause a lot of people to miss. I noticed that, so great job by you. Are you proud of her?
Yeah.
Very proud. All right, well, thank you.
Aaliyah Edwards, Get to Know Me.
Do you have a first memory when you decided you wanted to be a professional basketball player?
But I definitely made like a bucket list of be on the Olympic team for my national team and also play in the WNBA. So I remember those were my 2 goals when I was young, probably elementary school.
What advice would you give young women looking to play professional basketball or just play at an elite level someday?
My advice to young athletes would just to be confident, be true to who you are, but also be competitive. It's a fun game, basketball, and you learn a lot of skills, a lot of lessons, but you're building relationships at the end of the day, so have fun.
Do you have a favorite meal you've ever eaten?
Ever? Okay, so one of my favorite trips is Thailand. I went there to play basketball, but after me and my family stayed for an extra week. I would say pad Thai from Thailand, amazing. Nothing beats it.
What do you hope to bring to the Mystics this season?
This season, I really hope to bring just my energy and my passion that I always play with to the Mystics. I'm sure they don't need more of that than they already have, but also just my athleticism and being able to be versatile.
But I think my transition has been great. It hasn't been a super big, huge surprise because Kim Mulkey kind of prepared me for this moment. At LSU, our practice was like 4 hours. We were ready. We were working. I thought training camp was going to be harder. So I think I was really prepared. I didn't have really...
From your Samoan heritage, your Polynesian heritage, and your indigenous heritage, how are you inspiring people who are like you that this is possible?
You know, a lot of indigenous and Polynesian girls don't get to see that role model, and I'm just so blessed that I could be in the position to be that for them.
I love your beautiful, yes, yes. I love your beautiful tribal print skirt. This means something special to you tonight. How are you representing?
I'm just representing them with pride. You know, I had to include the tribal in my dress. And, you know, everything it took to get here, their support just pushed me through and, you know, really excelled me to get to this.
This is Van Sook. I'm back. So as you're watching some of the rookies, and that's basically the first 8, but there's other rookies in the league, you know, like Kate Martin, who ended up on the Aces. You know, I think as fans, let's just, in the heat of the moment, let's think about the WNBA. Let's think about the players. Let's think about what the players got to go through. You know. And what I do want to bring into this post and subject is that people got to be respectful of each other, and let's cut the racism out, because it became, to a certain point, you know, about race. You know, let's stop trying to separate, you know, Angel Reese is this or Caitlin Clatk is that. Let's stop the comparison. Okay, let's just stop the comparison and discussions. I'm sitting here in the garage, and that's things need to be cleaned up. But also, as a fan of the sport, not a fan of a player, and you're entitled to be a fan of a player, but be a fan of the sport. Support the sport. I just sat here and watched the game. You know, the Chicago Sky versus the Connecticut Sun. You know, the Sky done lost a couple games. I think they're 5-6 now, and the Aces lost 2 or 3 in a row. But you know, I ended up watching the WNBA game and I'm not even watching the Boston Celtics versus the Mavericks, and I'm just checking the score. But neither here to say. I think it's important that you listen to girls like Monica McNutt and Elle Duncan that's talking about sports. A lot of these young ladies are more a lot of these ladies are more adverse than the men. Don't think the men, because they used to be former basketball players and this and that they know the WNBA better than the women who consistently talk about it. But I'm going to post a few things of like what Elle Duncan was talking about, and I think Rebecca Lobo, you know, about how the United States for the Olympics, the team they put together. And we ain't trying to go into the narrative with this one's supposed to be on the team and that one could do. No, let's just listen. Let's just all understand that this is professional basketball. Okay? Now, check me out on rumble.com. It's called WNBA Ballers and Rock Bottom Sports. And I believe in promoting the young ladies in this sport. And as you can see, you might have seen different thumbnails, the YouTube channel, Instagram, but even some other players that I'm not even talking about, and I'm still going to make some more. But I want you to check out the last piece of this episode, and hopefully we can get a clear understanding that these women in the next couple of years is the future of the WNBA. Okay? And that's what we have to look forward to. So on that note, I'm out. See you soon.
Was this the right or wrong decision with Caitlin Clatk being left off this team?
And I'm going to start by giving you some context, Greenie. When it comes to forming the women's Olympic team, it's a 3-year process. They started having training camps back in February of 22. They had a training camp in April of 22. Then the World Cup in the fall of 22. They had multiple training camps throughout the course of 2023. And then this year in February, they went overseas for exhibitions. They had a training camp this April. So all of the women who were in the pool and all the women who ended up reportedly being on this roster participated in many of those. And why is that important? Well, because of the timing of the WNBA season. The WNBA takes a break during their summer season for the Olympics. And the Olympic team has 7 practices before they participate in the Olympics. So all of these women that you're seeing on the graphic that are reported to have made the roster have played with one another. All of them have had opportunities now over the course of the last couple of years to learn Cheryl Reeve's system, to learn one another, to learn some of the opponents that they're going to face in the international game. And Christine brought up Diana Taurasi specifically. I spoke to people, to players who were at the training camps who said Diana Taurasi played great. She's a 5-time Olympian. She brings a type of leadership.
The new fans are sucking the fucking life out of the WNBA right now. It's just the truth. You are right, new fans. There has never been more viewership because of Caitlin Clatk. There's never been more attention. But you know what there was in the WNBA last year and the years prior? There was other storylines. There was joy. There was talk of competition. There was talk of what was actually happening on the court. And all there is right now is a culture war. It is a them versus you, a you versus them. There is othering. It is gross. It is not fun. It is not engaging. There's no nuance in this situation anymore. So I'm done waiting for the next time because she's going to get fouled again, guys. The idea of talking about the W at this point, exhausting. I'm already exhausted.
And we were not talking about Caitlin Clatk before Angel Reese walked up to her, did this, and pointed to the ring. This is not my opinion. I lived it. I watched it. It was recorded. It was broadcasted live. We were not talking about Caitlin Clatk before that moment. And that's okay, because you can be extremely talented and not interesting. There are a lot of extremely talented athletes and games and series and sports that we don't talk about daily on this show because the public has not shown enough interest in them. That moment launched their careers. And when we started talking about it, I said it then, and it has all played out as I said it would. Well, I didn't know they were going to match up again in the tournament. That kind of broke my way. But this is Bird and Magic. It's not a perfect comp, but it is the path in which launched this conversation, this polarizing conversation that has everyone captivated. Sometimes something interesting has to happen that sparks an interest, that brings attention. Did Caitlin earn the attention by being a great player? Yes. Was Angel Reese in her face doing that because she was winning a national championship, which Caitlin was not doing? Yes. They both needed each other in that moment. It created the conversation. And then, as I said it would, it launched a great platform for this year's tournament, which was very heavily watched, the most ever. And Caitlin came back better than she was the year before. And LSU was good again. And then they matched up again. And then Iowa won this time. And then they both went into the draft, and now they are both in the WNBA, and we care about both of these players. There are a lot of people that care about Angel Reese. That doesn't mean she's as good as Caitlin Clatk. It also doesn't mean that what she's saying is not true, because multiple things can be true at the same time. Everything in life is not existing in a vacuum. Just because she said this does not mean that Caitlin Clatk is not great and that people are not watching because Caitlin Clatk is great. All she is saying is, and she is factually correct, the two needed each other. She was a part of that. And it's inarguable because that is what happened. We were not talking about Caitlin Clatk on these shows. We were not debating women's sports and women's basketball on these shows before that moment happened. So what she's saying is true, and multiple things can be true at the same time.